It's time to do an experiment. We're in the kitchen with Gord Stewart from the Big Little Science Center. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, good to be here.
I love how tall you are because I usually have to take my heels off for this segment when I'm in the kitchen, but you're so tall, I need my heels.
Well, it has advantages, I guess.
It does.
Okay.
So we're doing a little experiment today with copper sulfate?
Copper sulfate and some salt, and we're just going to do what they call a replacement reaction. So we're going to have the aluminum go into solution, have some copper come out of solution. So it's kind of interesting one to watch.
Okay.
So what I'll get you to do is just, if you could dump some salt in there from our little beaker of salt.
This is just regular table salt?
Yep. So we just need about a teaspoon or just a tablespoon. You don't have to be too accurate. That's probably good.
Okay.
And then I'll take that one off you because I'll do the same thing over here. And then we need to take some of the copper sulfate and just pour it about half full.
This looks like Kool-Aid.
It's really cool, but don't drink it.
Doesn't smell. Okay, so
No,
how much?
just about half the container.
Half of the silver?
Of the silver, yeah. So we're about there, good. And then I'll give you this little stir stick thing, and you can just sort of stir the salt around on the bottom, give it a little grindy, stirry. And then you'll have to keep doing that a bit, and then eventually it's gonna start bubbling, I hope. I'm gonna put this in here. It looks really nice and blue. Okay, you can stop now. And you can notice it's starting to get some darker color in the middle. I don't know if you can see that on camera. It's gonna start bubbling and smoking, and it'll get warm, so you can hold the edge, but don't hold the middle.
Don't touch the aluminum part?
Well, yeah.
Oh, it's starting to bubble.
Yeah, so we're getting the reaction going on. And what it's doing is actually the aluminum's going into solution and copper's coming out. So when it's done, we'll be able to pick up that tray and it'll have no bottom, just a pile of copper sitting there.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know how well you can pick this up on camera, but it's boiling like it's on a stove right now.
Yeah, we're not adding heat. There is actually heat being created, so you can see a little bit. Yeah.
Oh.
Now it's going through.
So it's burned a hole now in the bottom. You can see the liquid coming out.
Yeah. So this is another interesting thing because these two things aren't really that reactive, but when you get the right set of metals and stuff together, so now you've got, if you want, you can actually just pick that.
It's not too hot?
Yeah, and just pick the edge up and you can see there's a hole there right through the middle and a bunch of copper laying on them.
Look, we should sell it.
Yeah, we could be rich.
We could be.
Well, I don't know if there's that much copper.
Interesting how that works.
Yeah.
So essentially, the copper sulfate has now...
Well, the copper sulfate, the copper's come out of the solution, and the aluminum's gone into solution. So they kind of traded spots, the copper and the aluminum. So it's this one here is a little slower because it's a little thicker amount of aluminum, so it's going to take a little longer to go.
So you did there's two of these.
Two of those layers. It's going to take a little longer to go through, and it's a little more material to react with.
Right.
But it's kind of an interesting reaction, and of course, this reaction, when it does this, creates heat as well. That's why it's nice to have it on the hot plate here. That's gonna it's gone through the one, and it's working on the bottom one now. So we've got the same situation where we just basically burned a hole through it and created a whole bunch of nice pure copper.
Very interesting how this works. This makes up for the bad marks I got in chemistry, I'm sure of it.
And then some of these type of reactions are used for if you're trying to extract a metal from something else.
Right.
You can get, in this case, we're getting some nice pure copper out of there. But there's other ways of doing that, but you can see how this one's a little more dramatic with the more materials.
It really is more dramatic. It's like bubbling up.
Bubbling and foaming and all the rest.
All right, so do you guys teach this at one of your science camps?
Well, we would show it as a reaction to let kids try it. It's when you want to stick your finger or anything in, but it's a fun one. It's a fun one to see.
What would happen if you stuck your finger
in? It'd be
in?
hot, basically. That's
right.
These aren't, you don't want to wash. It's not something you'd eat, but it's not going to do anything besides burn you if it's hot enough to actually give you a little bit of a burn.
Right. So there are some great camps going on right now at the Big Little Science Center. Can we talk about those a little?
Yeah. So we're just going to finish up our camps week after next. So this week we're just finishing we're in the middle of our 3D design and printing club. So we're designing objects and printing them on a 3D printer. And then next week we have another camp that's already full. And then on the last camp will be the week after the short week. So it's the 8th to 12th of August is a Lego robotics program. And we still have a little bit of room left in that camp.
Oh, good. I thought those were sold out. I know they're very popular.
The first one did, so we started the second one.
Oh, good.
There's enough room for a few more people in that one.
Okay.
And then for the rest of the summer, we have our normal drop-in with demos happening at 1:30 and 11 o'clock each day. So you can come and visit that.
Fascinating. I don't want to touch that. It might be too hot.
It's going to be a little bit warm. Yeah.
Okay. So if people want to sign up for a camp, they're week-long commitments, is that right?
Yeah, it's a week-long camp. It's, it goes from 9 till 3, and it's for robotics is 10 and up. And it's an interesting camp. We get to do different robotic builds and program them.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Lots of kids into that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Gord, anything else you'd like to add?
No, I'd say just come visit us anytime through the summer. We're open all summer long with our drop-in for the hands-on room, and there's demos, like I said, going on through the summer as well.
Fantastic. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for the experiment. That was great. BLSC.org. Is that the right website?
BLSCS, yeah, .org. That's the
say
right
it
one on the screen.
It's
yeah.
right on the screen. I'm just practicing.
And
up
the
on
phone
my
number's
reading.
right there, too.
Fantastic.